HSP presents The Pulse. And now with your hosts, Dr. Quack and the important one, Mr. Mayhem.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to The Pulse. I'm Dr. Quack, and before we get started here, first I would like to send my condolences and prayers to the victims of Hurricane Ian down there in Florida. Hopefully everybody comes out there safe. If you're having any issues, definitely stay indoors. Make sure you're prepared. Make sure that you're taken care of. But on that note, I want to introduce my co-host here, the man himself, the pencil, the important one, Mr. Mayhem.
That's right, the important one, Mr. Mayhem. And those of us here in Houston, Texas, are happy that it didn't get over 80 degrees today.
Yes, it felt great.
It went from like 93 to 70. It was awesome.
Definitely. Well, let's bring on some guests, shall we? We got a lot of things to talk about here.
All right, you got the magic button back there, but I'll go ahead and introduce.
First,
I'll introduce them here. The first one, we always like to bring him on. We'll alternate. I'll get the first one here. He's my boss, your boss. He's everyone's boss. You better buy his merch. Bossolini.
There he is. Fight like a boss. Look, there's that shirt. That looks awesome.
Buy my merch.
That's right. Welcome, Bossolini. And we also have back here a man that is looking for revenge. Ladies and gentlemen, Prince Blackheart.
Welcome,
Prince Blackheart.
Thank you for taking the time to join us.
And we got one more back here right now. We got one more, and that would be the villain or Enforcer's worst nightmare.
How you doing, Pencil?
I'm doing good.
No, you're the duck. I'm talking to the Pencil.
Oh, how you doing there, pal?
It's all right. Looks like he had one too many run-ins with the wall there behind him. All righty. So let's start off talking about the award show on September 30th. That is a special Friday show. Yeah. And I believe that we're going 6:30 Eastern. Is that correct, Dr. Quack?
That is correct. 6:30 Eastern, Friday night. We got 16 awards to pass out and a big match.
That's right. I'm looking forward to that match. So we've got some people in here. Let's speculate here. We've got 5 current or former champions: A-List Alverson, Hollywood Haywood, Rig, Heathen, and the American Roughneck battling for the Champion of Champions battle.
Oh, before you start with that, speaking of one of those competitors, here he is.
Oh.
Rig. Can you hear us, Rig?
I can hear you. That was quiet.
Trophy, you know, being down here in this hurricane right now, I had to throw some fun in the environment, and I had to let everybody know in this Champions and Champions match, as you see, the champion Rig is here, and I'm going to rock their world just like the hurricane we're going through right now.
Well, then that's good. I don't have to ask that question. Apparently, you took my word seriously, and you're going to be there, it sounds like. So that's great news.
You didn't give me much of a choice, Mayhem. I spent 2 days sitting there deliberating, losing sleep, and everything else. But you know what? That Pure Heart Championship means more to me, and all I can say is it better be worth it, A-List, and it better be worth it to both of you in management up there, because I did not want to be here.
It is, because I wanted to see that match, and that match is the main event. I don't want to interfere with the main event, so thank you for taking me serious.
So how's the weather down there, Rig, down there in Florida?
Well, right now where I'm at, we got a little sideways rain. We got a little bit of wind. I'm a little bit north of the storm, but you know what? I'll be getting out of here pretty soon, because obviously I've got to show up for this damn match that I did not want to be in. But since I'm here, I'm going to show out and be the best. But I have got word that a little bit further south of me, they got a little bit more worse rain and wind. Some people has lost power. You know, on a real note, usually I'm the asshole, but coming from a person who understands hurricanes all too well, my prayers go out to them, and we will see what happens. Hopefully, everybody who chose to ride it out will make it out good and safe and survive.
Well said.
Well said.
Can I
As
just say,
I was going to say before the champ showed up here, boss, give your speculation on who you think is the champion of champions. Who's going to put out the best promo?
That's a very interesting question because we got 5 men in the match, 4 guys who hold titles on their shoulder, and 1 guy who doesn't hold a title. It would be very interesting if that guy that doesn't hold a title beats those 4 guys who hold the title. Because that lets them know that at any given time, he can show up in their division, whoop off in their ass, and take their title. But before we get any further, I am a shot caller, baby. So that means that your winner and champion of champions will be none other than the man that has the greatest interest in promo game history. The man with the sacks, A-List Alverson. Wait for it. Alverson.
I got something to say on that.
Please, go ahead.
You know, you talk about the shot callers. Let's face the reality, because I done proved it when I went into the Fatal 4-Way against your buddy Bad Superman, and I'm going to prove it when I go and take what is rightfully mine, and that's the Pure Heart Championship, and I'm going to prove it in this champions match. Still not happy, Mayhem, and I will get my due.
I mean, did you hit your head in the middle of this hurricane?
Hold on. I'm not finished. In reality, there is only one shot caller, and that is you, and I will leave it at that.
All right. So, Prince Blackheart, you made it to the finals against the Storyteller, the one champion or former champion who was unavailable. What's your thoughts? Because you could have possibly been in this match.
Well, it's a toss-up between 2. And that is either A-List or Hollywood.
Ooh.
All right.
No faith in the Hellraisers over there, Roughneck.
None.
All right. So the Nightmare speaketh. John, what do you have to say?
so can I just say, I'm just going to also say one thing before I give my pick.
All right.
As much as I can disagree with him, as much as we don't see eye to eye all the time, I love watching Rig when he's all fired up, ready to go. And I think that could be like, I also could say that with the other half of the Hellraisers, don't see eye to eye. But when he goes, he can go. And I just don't know if either Hollywood or A-List can control them one-on-one. And we all know they're going to have, like, as much as Rick's going to say that no matter who wins, whoever's going to end up winning will win. But at the end of the day, the Hellraiser is going to have to go at it. And I'm going to put my money on Rig. Rig is and I don't want Rig to take this the wrong way. I think Rig's the underdog out of this whole thing because nobody's giving him the shot.
Whoa, wait a minute there, Mr. Nightmare.
Some sense.
Wait a minute, Mr. Nightmare. Because I'm gonna tell you like this: in my ranking system, Rig is higher than a few people. You know. I mean, I already know that Roughneck actually lost his title in a match like this. You know, he lost his title in a match like this. Matter of fact, he lost the title in a match like this to none other than A-List Alverson.
But what's funny is that is the only fatal four-way out of 5 that he has fought in HSP that he lost. He's pretty deadly in these multi-man matches.
Yeah, but you know what they said in that one song? What have you done for me lately?
But at the end of the day, you have the Hellraisers who are on this amazing roll, and I'm not taking anything away from the paper champion, the guy who says that his title is the second-rate title, that he complains all the time about how management is holding him back from going against A-List Alverson, but at the end of the day, it's him that's holding himself back. Then you got A-List Alverson, the man who does like. Who's like? Can I just sit here and say who's the only one that I really see on the from the Hellraisers that comes out and actually talks Hellraisers, the shot callers that talk every single from every single pulse to making multiple appearances through hypes. Who's the only one that really does that? It's the man that's on the screen right with us right now, the boss. So as much shit as I've given the Hellraisers about it as either one being the mouthpiece for the other, Vassolini is the mouthpiece of those shot callers. So at the end of the day, who do you respect more? The people that are actually going to be on screen, whether you like them or not, or the man that's pretty much going to hide behind his mouthpiece?
Well, you got to look at it. And I'm going to tell you like this. I could be that mouthpiece, you know. I got my stick right here, so you know I could be like Vontavious Porter, and I could be the mouthpiece to someone like A-List, who is going to be none other than the almighty Bobby Lashley. So why would I need to talk when you got to talk for you? You're a monster.
But how can so? Answer me this: how can you respect a champion that only shows up for his matches? You don't see him on the screen with you as you're sitting here talking. You don't see the title belt on the screen. And I'm going to say the same thing about Hollywood Haywood. Now, granted, Hollywood does show up and do more than just his one hype and then go into a promo. Yes, he does that. We actually see more of the Soulfire Championship than the Pure Heart Championship. So how can you sit here and honestly say that we have to give respect and pretty much fear the man that holds the Pure Heart Championship when he only shows up once?
Wow,
But
you must have been paying attention recently.
Let's touch on that. Let's touch on that real quick. You know, I appreciate it, Bill, and I really do. Like, you were taking the words right out of my mouth. I'm not even going to lie. You were speaking for me. And that says a lot, no matter how much we disagree, because you're speaking nothing but straight facts. Aside from one thing, yes, usually Hollywood comes out here and hypes his matches. But have we noticed that he's been entirely quiet and silent for this Champions of Champions match? And if you're notice, the only new challenger in this match that he has where he's staying quiet is none other than myself. Enough said.
Okay.
All right. Interesting. So
this could go a million different ways. I mean, with these 5 competitors, I've called this an all-star game because you're getting the best of the best out of heart and soul fighting in one match. This is definitely, everybody that's held a title is here.
Very true. This going to be tough. I agree. But I'm looking forward to going into year 2 where we're actually going to make some new #1 contenders.
Oh, yeah.
So since we have Rig here on the screen, we'll let him start with this. I'm going to play a little devil's advocate, where we won't play devil's advocate. You're facing A-List Alverson. So we're going to be finding out who could be facing you or A-List at Soul Harvest. And there's 3 #1 contender matches. So the first one we'll talk about is Dax Snow and the Vagabond. I'll give you first shot at that one, Rig.
Well, what can I really say about that one? I mean, I'm scheduled to face Vagabond over another Fed to take his title off of him yet again here within, I don't know, maybe a week or something like that. Dax Snow, well, there's a lot of history between both of those opponents when it comes to me. Because, I mean, let's face it, I will be the new Pure Heart champion. There is enough said about that. There ain't no ifs, ands, buts. So when it comes to those two, it's really a tough call because I would face either one of them because there's a lot of history and there's a lot of scores to be settled.
All righty. So since we have one half of that main event, boss, I'll let you speak for A-List Albertson on this one, or talk in as a shot caller. Vagabond versus Dax Snow.
Now, this is going to be a tough one. You know, it's going to be a good match because it's two well-rounded young individuals. And I'm not a person to ever side with the era of reality, but Vagabond has been an enigma that people have not been able to answer. So I'm going to go with the Vagabond here.
And this is the first time they have ever met anywhere in the promo world. 9 of those matches on the card.
All right, Prince Blackheart, your thoughts?
Dax Snow and Vagabond. Two very different techniques. As the boss said, no one's been able to actually get Vagabond's number yet. But at the same time, when Dak is on par, he can be near unstoppable. So this match is going to be a very, very close one. It all depends on who's going to be on that game.
All right. So do you think Rapture is going to help Dax Snow?
No, but if he takes this one seriously, then that could have it. But if he sleeps on Vagabond, Vagabond's going to take it.
All right.
Dax
John?
Snow so far up Rapture's ass, there's no way they're not going to help him because he couldn't hang with the Hellraisers. So now the Rapture picked up the scraps. They couldn't hang with the best. Enough said.
Here, let me ask this then. I'm curious now. Who would you rather have help from? Hollywood Haywood or Mr. Wallace?
Can I answer the question first before you move on to the next one? Jeez.
Oh, God, that might happen one of these days.
I'm working on it. I mean,
So after he finishes, John, after Rick finishes, take over the question. All right, John. So I guess we'll go with you. Dax Snow, the Vagabond.
So Dax Snow versus Vagabond. One guy who pretty much still has milk on the top of his lip versus a guy that so few have actually figured out. Now, I don't know if it's because there's a storm down in Florida, or if it's just like I'm about to get struck by lightning. But I agree with Rig 100% on this. I actually do believe that there is no way that the Rapture isn't going to sit there and help their boy out because he can't do anything on his own. So I don't know. Maybe if Hollywood does, like Hollywood, I hope he doesn't stop anywhere short. Otherwise, little Dak is going to be just rear-ending him real quick. But I'm gonna say it's gonna be Vagabond just because of that. I don't think Dak's gonna be able to figure it out. Whether Dak just goes in this alone or he's sitting there training with his little Rapture that they talk about, or they show up and they try to interfere in the match. At the end of the day, we know the Rapture isn't better than the Air of Reality. Dax not better than Vagabond. And that's going to be how it's going to turn out.
All right. So we'll go with Dr. Quack's question. If you were in this match, would you rather have Hollywood Haywood at your back or Mr. Wallace? Go with Prince Blackheart. We'll let you start with that one.
Any of them two would be good.
Okay.
Any of them two would be good.
All righty. So, Rick, never mind. He's still finishing up his thought.
But saying that, I think I would go with Haywood. He's more unpredictable.
Okay. Rig? All right. Well, he's doing that, John.
All right. So I would have to pick pretty much the man himself, the mister of the HSP. Because at least to me, he would sit there. If he's going to sit there and betray you, at least he's going to do it in front of your face. He's not going to sit there and stab you in the back. Hollywood, he's going to sit there and do whatever it takes to pretty much either make sure that he stays on top or he is on top. Or pretty much to get his way to the top. He's going to do whatever it takes. I swear, he would sit there and turn on his own family. So why would I sit there and want to trust a man that I don't trust to pretty much watch my own back, let alone be in there, sitting there at ringside? There's no point.
All righty. And Rig, now that you've got your business taken care of there.
Oh, man, lightning is going to strike. I don't fully agree with you, but I do agree with you on Hollywood's sake. I mean, Hollywood's only in it for himself. Simple as that. He can betray whatever he wants to betray. He can do whatever he wants to do. He can say whatever words he wants to say. But in reality, in the end, Hollywood is only in it for himself. Simply put. Now, both of those I cannot stand. I can't stand Mrs. Wallace, and I can't stand Hollywood. So personally, I don't need help from either one of them. But again, damn, it must be the hurricane, Billy. It must be the hurricane. I got to go with Wallace because at least Wallace will do it straight to your face. I can't disagree with that.
All righty. Well, we got two more here. So, Rig, since we've got your time here, if you're still available, the second #1 contender qualifier, the American Roughneck and Jay Briggy.
Oh, that is a good question there, Mayhem. I might be pissed off at you, but you did shoot a good question with that. I'm going to go with Briggy because there's history there. As much as I would love to face Roughneck in a singles competition, I'm going to go with Briggy because there is a score to be settled, a major score to be settled. And let's face it, I mean, when it comes to the reality of it, Roughneck really ain't nothing but a bearded bastard that's here for charade, and that's it.
All righty. So, boss, coming back to you since you're back here. American Roughneck and Jay Briggy, a #1 contender qualifier for Pure Heart. This is another dream match. Briggy actually signed his contract freely and willingly. He wanted this match. Boss?
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this: Briggy is a prize fighter. He's gonna go out there and he's gonna give you 110% every match he's in. You know, Roughneck, you know, you can't sleep on him because he is a former champ. You know, he is a former Pure Heart champion. So and with an opportunity to try to get back in a match for that title where he will face off, if he makes it all the way to the end, where he will face off against none other than A-List Alverson. Yeah, I'm gonna correct you, Rick. We're gonna let you know who the real champ is. He's gonna fight, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna give it to Briggy.
All right. And Prince Blackheart, I know you faced off with Briggy. I'm not sure if you faced Roughneck, but I know you faced Briggy.
Yep.
What's your thoughts?
I faced both of them.
All right.
And I hate to do this, but I agree with both of them.
Oh.
Briggy is a fighter. He is unpredictable. You think you got his number, like a great man said. When you think you got all the answers, I change the questions. And that is exactly what Boogie does. He changes questions when he thinks you got him sussed. So I'm gonna have to go with Boogie.
All right. And John, are you making this one a clean sweep?
So let's see. You have pretty much the bearded clown who only makes as many jokes as A-List Alverson. And then you have Jay Briggy, the man who is, I don't know, has he had a match here in HSP yet? I don't remember at the top of my head. But which version of Jay Briggy is going to show up? Are you going to get the Jay Briggy that's going to sit there and want to be friends with everybody and pretty much doesn't give it his all? Or are you going to get the guy that's pretty much vile, will do anything to win? I heard somebody call him the prize fighter. And because that rings true with him. And I like if he shows up and pretty much is as soft as a cuddly teddy bear, then that bearded clown I mentioned will run him over. But if you get that vile Jay Briggy, then that's going to be a good match. So, because I want to change things up, I think we're going to get the cuddly teddy bear Jay Briggy. So I'm going to say Roughneck's going to win that match.
All right. That's kind of – I just know I want to see it. That's the one I want to say I want to see. So I don't care who
– say this. That is one nice beard, though.
I'll be honest. If that like if the like honestly if Roughneck shows that he has rust for not promoing for a while, and then you get all of a sudden Jay Briggy who doesn't want to be vile and will do anything to get to the next level, then I'm sorry, that match is going to be as boring as watching The Purge making a promo.
All righty. Well, I will say Purge had a streak of like 3 wins in a row from no-shows, so Purge could be a feared opponent.
There's your last. The last words were exactly it. No shows. He must have paid them off just to not show up.
Hey, the euro is worth more than the dollar. So we got the third match here, the number 1 contender to the Pure Heart qualifiers, Landfill and Damian Cross. Rig is taking care of battening down some things with the Storm. So, boss, your thoughts on that one?
Landfill versus Damian Cross. Well, first it's going to depend on what Damian Cross decides to show up. If it's that enraged, crazy person, he has a fighting chance. But when you go against a hardcore hungry man, the current foundation champion, Landfill's a hard person to beat. And as much as I would love to say I'm going to root for the upset, I can't. I'm going to go with Landfill.
Alrighty. Boss. Or excuse me, Blackheart.
Well, I got to agree with Boss there. There's a fighting chance if Damien Cross, my fellow lifeblood, brings the Miracle. If he don't, then Landfield's going to eat him alive.
Alrighty. And go ahead. Finish your thought.
But yeah. I think the odds-on favourite will be Landfield.
All right. So Rig, are you all batting down? Everything good down there?
Yes, sir.
All
Yes,
right.
sir. Sorry about that there, Mr.
No,
Mayhem.
we understand. You're near the storm, so we wanted you said you had to batten down some things to make sure everything was safe and secure. So just making
That's
sure
right.
everything's good. So
That's
we're talking Landfill and Damien Cross, the third #1 contender qualifier.
Well, as far as who's going to win that one, I'm sorry. As much as I can't stand that ignorant fool, it's going to be Landfield. I mean, there's no competition there in any way, shape, or form. Damien Cross sucks. Like, let's just call it how it is. He sucks in every way, shape, form, fashion. Even when he brings out his mummified self or his angry, pissed off at the world self, it doesn't matter. He still sucks. He still doesn't put out enough to get the job done. I've done beat Damien Cross, and Landfill would be the best competitor anyway, and that's who's going to take that one. Simple as that.
All right. And John?
You got Landfill, who is pretty much a journeyman who is very talented at what he apparently does. And he's held multiple championships wherever he's gone. And then you got Damien Cross, the pretty much Salvation Army version of the HSP's whipping boy. How many opportunities is this man going to get and disappoint every single time he gets those opportunities? I swear, I think Mary Sue gets more opportunities. Actually, no, he gets more opportunities than Mary Sue. And I would love to be able to say that he has learned from every single lesson. And I'm tired of hearing that some people say, well, you need to give him a shot. He's been getting better. Apparently not. He hasn't learned anything from every single loss that he's had at every single opportunity. Landfill wins. Not even close.
All righty. So, Dr. Quack, are you still online with us, taking care of business?
I just got finished.
This is a good chance to take us to commercial break.
Let me do that.
If you have ever wanted to own a championship belt made to the highest quality standards, an exact duplicate of your favorites growing up that you saw on TV, or your own dreamed up customization, reach out to ORM Belts, the official sponsor of Heart and Soul Promotions, maker of the Soul Fire, Tag Team, and Pure Heart Championship. That's ORM Belts.
On September 30th, Heart and Soul Promotions presents the 1-year anniversary show, which will have our awards show with 10 awards to give out, including Most Hated, Most Popular, Most Improved, Promo Artist of the Year, and many more, plus our Champions and Champions match. See you September 30th.
All right. Thank you for that. Thank you to our sponsors, ORM Belt, and thank you to ourselves for our 1-year anniversary show. It's going to be a great show. You get to see Dr. Quack in his suit, something you don't get to see very often.
Not very often.
All right. Do you have anything else you want to discuss, Dr. Quack, before we moved into more matches from year 2?
Actually, there is kind of one thing I want to discuss here, because we do have our awards show on the 30th, just like the commercial said. We got 16 awards that we will be giving out. We will be having the most popular, the most hated, Promo Artist of the Year, Tag Team of the Year, and many, many more.
That's right.
And actually, there's one more thing I'm kind of curious on. Enforcer's worst nightmare. How have you? Is there a stipulation for this match? I'm a little lost here. I got confused with everything that was going on.
I've been waiting for him. I haven't heard from him. I haven't heard from his lawyers. His representation, it hasn't come back to me. I pretty much told him that he doesn't even have to win the match. He just has to pretty much impress me, and then I will sit there and make sure that the part of his contract that says Seven's not allowed to step foot into HSP would disappear. But again, I haven't heard anything. I figured he'd be jumping up and down for joy with all of that, and yet I don't know. He still hasn't contacted me, so
he's still being the disappointment he always is. I mean,
you're not wrong. Whose intro starts with greatness, but all you do is disappoint every single time you show up on screen? You do the same thing over and over again, and what is the one crutch that he always uses? Oh, wait. He always uses Seven as his crutch.
So you're saying the Enforcer would have no chance against you, the Enforcer himself?
No. The Enforcer himself would have no shot. Even if he had all 7 of his personalities, he would still have no shot versus me.
Wait, is it 7 now, or has he done created more? I'm still confused.
I don't know. He must think he's Tony Stark. I think he has like over 200 apparently personalities.
Just saying, you know.
Well, Seven and Sybil do start with the same letter.
I mean, y'all are talking about the man, but he is currently the VOH King of Promos champion.
He does hold the title.
So
Until somebody
he's
comes
not a
actually
pushover. It's not a pushover.
That's true. He is not a pushover.
He's lucky that I
very-
haven't gone over there to take it from him.
Me
He's lucky
and
that
my
I'm
brother
waiting.
both.
He's lucky that I wanted in the first match with him is on the grounds of the HSP. But maybe if he's not going to answer me in the HSP, I should just waltz my way over to the VOH and start pushing buttons over there, because maybe he won't take that lightly.
As much as I can't stand you, the VOH does, you know, welcome you, because we are current champions over there too. You see, he is the KOP over there right now, and I'm not trying to steal the show and make it about VOH, but since Boss wanted to bring it up, he is the KOP, yes, but he has not faced great competitors like me and my brother, and I do believe my brother, if he don't take it, I will.
Well,
What are you laughing at over there, Prince Blackheart, NDT, whatever your name is now? I swear, I think you even have more gimmicks than little old Seven. Actually, no, I'm gonna give you. I may have put a lot of shade on you during that fatal 4-way, but at least you will stand up. You will put a fight than him. So I'll give you that little credit.
Rick as greatness.
I beat you every time.
Yeah, you might have beaten me every time. But that don't make you great.
hi,
Sit
Rick.
down, boss. The big boys are talking.
Sorry
Whoa,
about
whoa,
that.
wait.
I'm actually, we're probably going to have to go into final thoughts here. I have had power go on and off 3 times now.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and take it then into final thoughts. Prince Blackheart, you were talking, so let's give you the first shot. Final thoughts about anything.
Well, my final thoughts will be a master of illusion on that grudge match. Because it is a grudge. He still does not like it that I won by a coin toss. And he thinks he's going to win. Well, I've become unpredictable. There's no chance that he's going to win against me.
All righty. Bossellini, final thoughts.
You finished talking? All right. So let me speed this up a little bit because I don't want to put y'all to sleep like Blackheart was doing. Once again, we got a main event where a shot caller will be main event in the show. And it will be match to watch. You know, we will see what each of the Highway Hellraisers can do when they're not depending on their tag partner. See what Hollywood and A-List can do when they're in the ring with each other, and see if the true underdog of the match can walk away with the win, the only person without a title. But besides that, Mr. Purge, I'll see you with the start of year 2, and believe me, boost the asses, and I'm gonna make you feel like main event Jey Uso when you see me with the honorary Uso tee.
All righty. And John, the Enforcer villain, Nightmare.
So, to piggyback off of what Bossellini was saying, it's going to be an interesting match. You have one guy who doesn't hold the titles at the current time versus all the current champions, and it will be very interesting to see. And yet, one thing I do got to point out, Mr. Bossellini, if A-List is so good, why do you have to always hype up something for him? He should be able to speak for himself on whatever he does. So unless he's scared to come out and hype it up on his own, and for Enforcer, he knows the number. All he has to do is give me a call, give me the answer, so we can finally make it official, so I can finally pretty much make him as bad as Damian Cross. And that's not even that bad at all.
All righty. And Champ, take us home. Final thought.
Sit back and get comfy, Mayhem, because this is your fault. You see, I wasn't going to show up to this champions match because I had absolutely nothing to prove. I have proved it all already. And my main focus is A-List Alverson going into the second year where I will finally become the true, worthy, pure heart champion that A deserves. But since you have forced my hand, and I have talked to my lawyers and they said their hands are tied, and there's nothing that can be done. To all of you so-called champions, yes, that includes you, heathen, because we all know the truth. I'm coming to this match pissed off, and you can give all the credit to Mayhem there, because in reality, my hand is being forced, which means I don't submit very easily, which means I am bringing everything I have ever brought to the promo world, because by God, it is time to silence everyone and prove that I am what HSP needs. I am truly the best, and I am the reason that we still hold these tag team titles. Simple as that. With that being said, welcome in whoever the hell you are. And John, man, all I can say to you there, villain, is obviously you got very humbled after I kicked your ass, because we are agreeing left and right. So I'm glad to see that. Bossolini, send your little typo message or whatever the hell you want to do to your buddy Alias and tell him exactly what to do, and maybe he'll have a chance against me in both the Champions of Champions match and the Pure Heart title match when I take what is rightfully mine and has been
Hell.
for now a year.
Hell.
Right.
All
So,
right,
Damian
we got
Cross.
one more person. Let's hear from Damian Cross here. Give us some quick final thoughts before we end this show.
I know nothing because I just jumped on.
There you go, folks. He knows nothing because he just
Of
jumped
course
on.
he knows nothing. He never
I'm
knows
Dr.
anything.
Quack.
I'm the important one, Mr. Mayhem. Thank you to all our guests. Thank you, Rick, for taking time to brave the weather out there and give us a quick weather report. Everybody stay safe down in the southeast.
We'll see you next week.